Here.
Counselor Quinlan.
Here.
Everyone has a copy of the minutes of the regular meeting of January 23rd. Are there any corrections? Hearing none, they stand approved as submitted. Visitors and delegations, I don't see any. We'll move on to number 5, management. Second and final reading of ordinance number 852-17. Is there a motion for that reading, for that ordinance?
I make a motion that we approve second and final reading of ordinance number 852-17, Brush Municipal Court becoming a court of record.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on it?
Can you hold on a second, Chuck? I think there was one we need to get back into. All the terms of the court of record were spelled out. And,
Scoot your microphone down.
this was where I was, what page is this on? Somebody have this page in there, Kim? I did want to ask a question.
7, starts on 7,
7.
Thank you.
and goes on.
Okay. The court shall be presided over by a municipal judge who shall be appointed to office in accordance with CRS 1310-105 and by the city council for a term of 2 years and may be reappointed for subsequent terms. I had a question about this because I couldn't remember since I had been on council that our municipal judge had come up for reappointment. Vacancies in the office shall be filled by appointment of the city council for the remainder of the unexpired term. Does he come up is it 2 years? It says beginning on the biannual reorganization of the city council, so every time that there's an election, it is the city judge re-upped? Is that how it's been working?
That's what the ordinance says today, yes, this is not a change.
But I don't remember that happened, but I don't remember everything. So the next time that we have an election, he'll be referring
Yes,
to
and
his
they're
judge?
gonna be, he and the clerk will be sworn in again for this new court, that's a court of record.
Okay. So whether or not we were doing it on that schedule, it will be the case from now on?
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
that was my question.
All right. Any other discussion? All right. Is there a roll call vote?
Mayor Schomburger.
Yes.
Counselor Anderson.
Yes.
Counselor Bain.
Yes.
Counselor Baker.
Yes.
Counselor Becker.
Yes.
Counselor Dykes.
Yes.
Counselor Quinlan.
Yes.
Number 5B, farm lease extension with Don Leonard.
Thank you, Mayor. In your packet, you should have a copy of a farm lease extension for our Farm North biosolids application site with Don Leonard. At some point in time, this really got sneaked up on me, and I apologize, but it is due to expire on February 28th of this year. And so we would like to extend this lease with Don Leonard for 1 more year, at which point in time we can put it back out for bids. It's exactly the same lease as what we would have had. It's the same lease as what we had before. It's just a 1-year extension.
All right. Is there a motion for that extension?
I'll make a motion that we approve the farm lease extension for 1 year with Don Leonard.
Second?
Motion and a second. Discussion? All right. Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote.
Counselor Anderson.
Yes.
Counselor Bain.
Yes.
Counselor Baker.
Yes.
Counselor Becker.
Yes.
Counselor Dykes.
Yes.
Counselor Quinlan.
Yes.
Mayor Schomburger.
Yes. Down to 5C, award the bid for the 2017 swimming pool water heater project.
We received 2 bids on the project. Galaxy Plumbing coming in at $32,294 is what staff is recommending. We have $50,000 budgeted, but we do have some improvements that we need to do to the pool house along with that money. So staff is recommending Galaxy Plumbing in the amount of $32,294.
All right. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the bid to Galaxy Plumbing for the 2017 swimming pool water heater project.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. All right. I sure hope it works. Yeah. All right, roll call vote.
Counselor Bain?
Yes.
Counselor Baker?
Yes.
Counselor Becker?
Yes.
Counselor Dykes?
Yes.
Counselor Quinlan?
Yes.
Mayor Schomberger?
Yes.
Counselor Anderson?
Yes.
Moving on to number 6, finance.
I make a motion that we approve disbursements and payroll from January 23rd through February 13th of 2017, totaling $812,844.87.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Roll call vote.
Counselor Baker?
Yes.
Counselor Becker?
Yes.
Counselor Dykes?
Yes.
Counselor Quinlan?
Yes.
Mayor Schomberger?
Yes.
Counselor Anderson?
Yes.
Counselor Bain?
Yes.
Finance report, or staff reports. Finance is first. Joanne.
I just had one item this evening. In front of you, Andrea had laid out the annual stipend agreement. And if you would be good enough to go ahead and fill this form out within the next 3 days and get it back to me, then we'll get it in the next packet for a council approval and get you guys paid your $200 if you're going to request the stipend for the use of your computers.
All right. Thank you. Moving down to the police department.
Mr. Mayor, just a few things. As you know, we had a call out with the rescue vehicle a couple weeks ago. Again, we want to thank the council for approving that. It's pretty comforting to know that when you're behind 4 to 6 inches of steel and you're within 4 feet of a guy that's wanting to harm you, you're fairly safe. We do want to offer our condolences to the family, though, for their loss. I guess my question, do you have any questions on the annual report that I gave you folks last time? Okay.
It was a very good report.
Yeah.
Great,
Very good
okay.
Very good.
And then on the 15th, we're going to start our Yellow Dot program. So if you have any family members that may have medical issues or you have some concerns about that, maybe they're diabetic, the Yellow Dot program, basically they fill out a form, we put it in their glove box, we put a yellow dot on their rear window. If we find them alongside of the road, they're maybe unconscious or involved in an accident, we can pull that form out of their glove box and the medics or first responders will know how to treat them almost immediately. So we're going to start that on the 15th.
Is that just the city or is the county doing it?
Just the city, but it's open to the county. They've been appraised of what we're doing. The fire departments have been notified and ambulance services. So.
Perfect.
And again, thank you. The report showed that you guys are doing great. It's good to get feedback like that.
Got a good group of people, I can tell you that right now.
Yes, you do. Community development, Karen.
I just wanted to note that the tree board is, in cooperation with East Morgan County Library, going to have a tree care workshop next Tuesday, the 21st at 6:30 p.m. Very excited about this opportunity to learn a little bit more about training your young trees if you planted one recently. And the library is asking that if you are interested in attending to please RSVP to them prior to the workshop next Tuesday. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Utilities, Dale. Oh, no, I skipped over Lance. Lance was ready. Parks and Recreation, you are next on the list. I thought it was that way. Yeah.
Just a couple things. First of all, we are starting to accept registrations for the annual St. Patrick's Day race. That's going to be held March 11th over there at Memorial Park. This year's profits will go towards the Brush Fire Department and also to the new police dog Bucks. So as far as his care and that sort of thing. So I'm already starting to get people registered, and a lot of businesses have also sent in donations, so we thank them. And looking forward to hopefully having good weather again. We've been pretty lucky the last 12 years, so looking forward to that. And the second thing is we do have one more bid kind of outstanding, and that's our parking lot bid for the golf course. We will be receiving those towards the end of the month, and it'll come to the council there at the last council meeting in February to make a decision on the bids that we received. So we had 4 contractors that came to the pre-bid meeting, so looking forward to a pretty competitive bid process in that area and go from there.
All right, thank you. Now, utilities, Public Works, Dale.
Thank you, Mayor. We It's starting up again. This is, got a brand new year, brand new projects. I'm pleased to announce that we have 3 street projects out for bid right now. One is currently the Mill Street project from Colorado, to Custer Street for a rebuild on that. Over on Emerson, south of Sunset Ball Field, as well as the Elm Street project. That's a street, it's one of our few gravel streets. We're gonna be able to hopefully get that paved this year as well. The bids are due towards the end of the month as well, so hopefully we'll have some good news on that. Additional good news is that we did get our bids back for our trash truck, a new trash truck, as well as a replacement sweeper. And both those bids did come under budget, so I'm really happy about that as well. In addition, the moisture's just about right in our alleyways at this point in time, so we will be having our motor graders going up and down the alleys trying to smooth out some of those potholes. The weather's just as hard on the dirt alleys as it is on our asphalt. And so what you'll find is that first 2 hours in the morning, we will be actually out working the alleyways. And then after that first 2 hours in the morning, while our crack fill machine is up and going, we're getting a lot of the moisture wicking up out of the cracks in our streets. And so we'll have our crews out doing some crack fill in the streets. So I'd just like to make everybody aware that we will have crews out there. Please observe the cone zone. I really encourage residents not to drive through the cones and drive over the crack fill, because if you get it on your tires, it'll be out of balance, it'll get on your vehicle, and it's very difficult to remove. But we're really fortunate we're getting this break of weather to do this.
Yep. Great. City Clerk.
Okay. Upcoming meetings to notice are, city offices will be closed Monday, February 20th, but we will have from 1 to 4 at the City Hall garage a pet and animal clinic licensing for our citizens. And then in March, we're having a joint meeting to collaborate goals, and I've sent an RSVP around for council to consider. And then there's several other things on there. If you have questions about, you can ask me.
All right. That's it.
That's it.
Thank you. Administrator.
Okay, a few things. The first thing is Andrea mentioned the meeting in March for Partnering for Progress. That joint meeting, there's a slide deck that's gone to all the different entities that are going to be part of that. And that slide deck, they're going to populate those, get them back to Tyler, and we'll consolidate into one PowerPoint presentation. And one of the things in there, just be aware that there are priorities for the future. Each entity is going to talk about their priorities and major projects. And what we're going to be doing for City of Brushes is putting in your priority list that you guys had approved a while back. So that'll be in there. But if there's any other community concerns or issues that you guys can think of that may not have been on your priority list, just send me an email and we'll incorporate that into the slide. And what doesn't get put into the slide, we'll have a handout as well. So it'll be a very unique meeting, very interesting meeting, and we're hoping that this first one will create a lot of interest in all the entities getting together a few times a year, talk about how we can work together to improve our community as a whole. Next item is the Sands Theater. I did get a request from the Brush Area Chamber of Commerce, and the Sands Theater, that went into the foundation's ownership now, and so we've been talking to them quite a bit, hoping that they have a final use and reopen the theater. One thing that was requested was if the city could waive the utilities for a year until they got themselves on their feet. And so normally the city administrator approves those things by just, if anybody has any objections, let me know, but I was going to go ahead and approve that administratively just to help them get going. And that might roughly save them $1,000, $1,300 a year based upon their past utility usage. So it's not a huge issue, but just bring that to your attention. Next one is the master plan for the feedlot. That process is ongoing. Tyler has to date 3 or 4 different versions of a master plan for the feedlot, and we're going to be taking that to the Economic Development Stakeholders Group to have them get some comments on it. Then we'll be bringing that also to the City Council to review and get some feedback and thoughts about what the zoning should be and how it should look for, what kind of look we want for the feedlot in the future. very important right now because we actually have 2 entities that have been visiting with the city interested in potentially locating out at the feedlot. So we want to make sure that we have a very good plan for everyone to look at in the future. Also, OEDIT, the Office of Economic Development and International Trade, they are also working with the city of Brush. They had a change in staff, so we're waiting for them to bring their new person in, and we'll get started with them as well to put our master plan together. Also, there is a Verizon tower, cell tower, that's being proposed to locate in the city of Brush, and we'll have the public hearing here in the near future on that one, and working a few bugs out, or I guess one issue out of the lease agreement. Those also have to be approved by city council. So once Bo and I have our final draft put together, we'll get that all to city council.
Is that the one near the skate park, Monty?
Correct.
Okay.
Next item is Parks and Wildlife. They're one of the entities that has an interest in the feedlot. The mayor and I met with some of their staff, and they're looking at potentially a short-term rent of part of the feedlot, and that is just to put up their temporary office space while they do their planning and moving forward with a permanent building out at the feedlot. And it's all in the discussion phases right now, but it sounded pretty promising. And but still, there'd have to be a lease agreement. There needs to be a county variance process that they have to go through, and just a good possibility for the feedlot. And I'll let the mayor talk about any other thoughts about the meeting with Parks and Wildlife.
That's it?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, Parks and Wildlife, I thought it was a very good meeting, productive. They seem very interested. I think it'd be a great fit. I think that's the kind of entity we want out there. They have a lot of traffic that comes through, and that would help, so we'll see if things pursue. Any other council reports? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
We're adjourned.
Work session, you said,
Yep.